Hello there guys, and welcome to Star Wars Comics, where today we change pace a bit from the series and talk about how Darth Vader really felt about droids or beings that have come close to becoming a droid. A clear-cut example of what I'm referring to is Silo's creations. If you read issue number 5 and 6 of the 2015 Darth Vader comics, in there specifically is outlined his true thoughts on Silo's augmented enforcers, and let alone droids themselves who have no connection to anything natural. Let's start from the beginning. Vader is lured before Silo's enforcers. Morit closes the door behind him using a gesture reminiscent of Force use. However, he was simply using his implants to command the door to be closed. That was not from the Force. The Force was weak with them, according to Vader. They are not Jedi and they're not Sith. That's the last thing Morit wanted to be, as he went for Vader. They are ancient history. Suddenly, Silo appears and orders his minions to stop. In fact, he was not Silo himself, a clone of sorts, Silo 5, using the augmented technology as his minions. His idea of the Force and the universe was quite skewed from traditional view. He tells Vader that he is something completely new and far from human. This infuriates Vader. There was nothing about the Force in these apprentices, and nothing about the Force in anything that comes from him. Well, these aren't apprentices, these were replacements. It was blasphemy. Vader was baffled. This really had nothing to do with the Force, said Silo. Same as you. More machine than man. In fact, you were the inspiration. These are your children's, said Silo. Vader had had enough. He raised his lightsaber, and just as he was about to strike down Silo, suddenly he heard his name yelled out. It was Sidious. He told Silo to forgive Vader, but he is not fond of children. It is quickly made clear to Vader that Sidious had come to witness a brawl between Vader and the Enforcers. Vader needed to show his strength. Is he still worthy of remaining Palpatine's apprentice? The fight immediately begins. Silo goes on to assure Palpatine of every one of his creations. For the twins, inside their flesh, he had inserted the finest technology available as they sent flame towards Vader, who was repelling it through the Force. Then Vader faced a cybernetically enhanced Trandoshan. As the fight officially began, the Trandoshan had enhanced claws, and what's worse, he had Vader almost cornered. At that moment, Morit kills the Trandoshan, boasting that he had saved Vader, but the Sith told him that he won't forget this, that he will regret taking that kill from him. Palpatine had seen enough. He orders Vader to come with him. He was impressed with his apprentice and his ability to create a small army of droids, but Vader felt the same for the Commando droids as Silo's creations. They were abominations. It is heresy against the true nature of the Force. Palpatine scolded Vader. He forgets who is the master and who is the apprentice. He stands there telling Palpatine about abominations, but he himself is more machine than man. If it wasn't for Palpatine's open mind, Vader would not be here. Everything is from the Force, even technology. In fact, Palpatine goes further in scolding Vader. He tells him that he was very disappointed in his failure on Mustafar. He saved him, however, it is then he realized how far off the mark Vader had fell. Vader had finally learned the truth that Silo had been training these things for 20 years, and all this time Sidious had considered replacing Vader. Of course he did. Again, Palpatine goes on to explain to Vader that the dark side represents strength. You always have to show that you are the best. That no matter how strong you think you are, someone is always behind you, waiting to replace you in a heartbeat. The interesting fact about this mentality of Vader is how unaware he is of himself, how everything about him is technology, down to even his breathing. He can't even breathe, survive, or live without the complicated circuitry and enhanced cybernetics that allowed him to fight, move, and complete his master's missions. But he does not consider himself an abomination. That is what is mostly fascinating about this. this. It's similar to how the bad guy doesn't consider himself bad, but has a justification of why he is how he is. You can say that Vader represented the old generation, where they believe every new invention and enhancement is an abomination and eventually will lead to everybody's downfall. I would love to know what you guys think of all of this. Do you have a similar person in your life, or are you that person? Share that down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching this video. Tomorrow we have the release of issue number 16 of Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith comics. I'll be sure to have that ready for you guys. Have an awesome day, and may the Force be with you always.